So you'll see here on the left-hand side, as always, and I think that you'll note the software is extremely user-friendly, easy to follow, and you're guided through the next steps. We've obviously got the RX form here, our order form that we created, maxilla scan stage, mandible scan stage, and bite. Right now we're within the kind of the case finalization. So this is going to be the area where you look over all the data, make sure that it's exactly what you want it to be, and then you can either send it to your laboratory that's been entered via the cloud online, or you can export the files, save it to your laptop, utilize it on a USB, or send it via WeTransfer or other forms. Okay, so we're here within the case finalization stage. You'll see on the very top of the screen, I have my patient's name, my default laboratory. This was the first lab I entered. However, I've entered several since then. By clicking this little drop down arrow, I can select a different lab if I choose to. This right here is basically the option to select a delivery date. So I can go ahead based on the lab's turnaround time, request a delivery date. And then here is basically the RX form. So maxillary planning. It gives you the options here to choose a material or shade still at the very end, basically in finalization if you forgot to add your restorative material or shade. But since this is a clear aligner, we don't need to worry about that. We'll also be given a reminder shortly as we send the case that, you know, we need to add material or shade, but just keep in mind that if it's not a restorative case, you can just bypass that and keep moving. I can add notes here. You'll see that this was a case that I earlier put notes on, but you can add whether it's a Bruxer, something about the case that's important for the laboratory to know. Go ahead and press cancel there. I can click here to add an attachment. For instance, if this was a very aesthetic case, I had pictures of the patient, I could upload those pictures that they would be sent directly to the laboratory. And then here's the option. I've got two different options right now to export or send this case. First and foremost, we'll talk about export files here. By clicking this option here, what it does is it, in essence, saves this case to my laptop. I can create a folder where all of those cases or files are exported to, and from there, I can do what I want with them. As mentioned, you'll be given a notification right here. You may have forgotten to select the restoration material. We're going to export anyways because we know this is a clear aligner. Okay, right here I'm given the option of whatever folder I want to export these files to. I save them to my desktop just because they're easy for me to see and remember that those files are there. I press OK here. And you'll see that that little slider bar here, it loads across the bottom. Files were exported successfully by clicking OK. I can then close out there and it'll show me all the files that have been exported to my desktop. Captured images, as we discussed, were those screenshots, and then every file that would need to be sent to the laboratory from here on out. Those are all saved to my desktop. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close out there. Very, very simple export, and the one thing I recommend is saving in a file that's easy and accessible and where you remember those files actually go. And also within your settings, making sure that you select the patient's name to be exported with those files. Okay, our other option here, very, very simple, is going to be through the cloud, the 3DISC cloud. Your laboratories have been added online through the connections. If I send to lab here, I'm going to click, and it says you may have forgotten to select a restoration material or shade. Nope, we didn't forget because this is a clear aligner, send anyways. You're always given that option just as kind of a fail-safe to reselect that. And then the option here, are you sure you want to send to Emily's Dental Lab? I press OK. Okay, so the case has already been uploaded to the cloud. Update existing case or create new one. Let's just create a new one. You'll see the loader bar here at the bottom of the screen, signifying that this case is sending now. And it typically takes just a couple seconds to get that sent off, and you're good to go. So while that's sending right now, let's go ahead and select Show Order Form here. This is just good to understand what the laboratory actually receives from you. By selecting Show Order Form, you'll see that a PDF will pop up here. And it has the clinician's information here at the top, the patient ID number, case number, patient's name, the date that this was created, requested delivery date, date of birth. On this case, we had no date of birth selected, and the laboratory that it's going to. Okay, so you'll see the options here. This is our maxillary clear aligner option. You'll scroll down and see the notes that you've entered, and obviously 2D images of the files, the scan data, along with the screenshot that we took here. So this goes directly to the lab as well. You'll see the measurement here in the upper right-hand corner. I know it's small on the screen, but the data goes to the lab. Okay,